Hello everyone, welcome back to some more From the Depths. We are in the vehicle designer once again. And today we're going to be taking a look at building a small cheap plane that we can hopefully use in a campaign to, help secure the province a bit. Keep it all under control and everything. Also, we're going to be trying something out. As you can hear, there's no music in the background because, well, From the Depths has some nice music, but they only have like 3 to 6 tracks to play. I've managed to narrow them down, and I've got a playlist right here. And we should have access to all the music, so I can just play this in the background while recording. And just for the sake of it, we're gonna turn off the music volume in here. That way we should only be getting the playlist, so we don't have 2 tracks playing at the same time. And hopefully this should make the video a bit easier to watch for you guys. I don't know, having music in the background is fun. Let me know down below if you think it's too loud. I might just turn it down 1 notch, there we go. And we're going to be building a plane. So first things first, we're going to destroy all the vehicles. I'm going to start a new one, and we're going to be building a basic wooden beam over here. There we go. I want to keep this small, I want to keep it compact. We're going to be putting the engine on the back here. We're going to go for a fuel engine because why not? We're going to have to use them at some point anyway. Let's see, can we make it like this and then have the generator stick on here? Not sure if this connects. There we go, it does not connect, so it has to be there, like I thought it would be. Then we're going to try and put a cylinder over there. Okay, good, that actually manages to stay connected. Which is lovely. Although, I kind of made a minor design flaw. Let's get those blocks back under there. Put you there. You there, and then we'd like a carburetor right here. There we go. Now we can attach turbochargers to that. There we go, helping to cool, connect to carburetor as well. It's automatically mirrored, so there we go. We now have a reasonably fuel efficient engine, I guess. And that only helps to make it even better. There we go. Maximum power output is 100 with 0.29 fuel burned. Let's see, how well does that translate to putting a jet engine on there? You know, why not? It's gotta be a plane after all. We'll lift it out of the water quickly. We'll put on just a single fuel tank for now. And we'll put on a controller as well. Gotta be a vehicle controller because there is no plane specific one. Put in a little chair. It's in water mode. That explains it. Okay, so 1 jet engine takes up 20 power. That is good. We'll actually manage to come out of the water there for a little second. Let's lift her up. And there we go. This is surprisingly not terrible for something terrible. But that is good to know. Like, we can use some thrusters with our extremely fuel efficient engine to hopefully keep this in the air relatively efficiently. Like, look at that. Power output 50 has 0.25 fuel burning. We've got a very efficient high RPM engine here, which is good. At least I think it should be high. I'm not an engine kind of person, so I really don't know. All I know is it's efficient at the top. Just like the superchargers say. Increase fuel efficiency at high RPM. Yes, it's good. So we have a fuel efficient high RPM engine. There we go. So we are now very fuel efficient with our one jet engine and everything. Right, so we're building a plane, right? That's gotta have some wings at some point. We got air, and we can add wings. Probably gonna stick with something small like this so we don't lose a lot of our flight. Let's see, can we put... Where's the... Oh god, it's been forever since I tried to build a plane that wasn't terrible. Okay, so I suppose ailerons work like flaps. And we might have to put 2 here on each side, and then we'll have our tailplane at the back just for testing purposes. This should now fly somewhat. Okay, I can at least somewhat control it, which is good. That's a start at least. And what we can do is make the wing a bit longer and have it stick out less. There we go, we'll put the ailerons back on in a second, just trying to test things out here. Yeah, we'll put the ailerons at the back here, I guess. This is just testing at this point, like nothing serious just yet, but yeah, we don't have a lot of pitch control, which is unfortunate. We do have reasonable roll for a terrible plane. Let's power down the engine, get our backup. Yeah, the idea is to make like a tiny AI flyable plane. That would be great. Let's put a jet engine on here for pitch control. I want to view that. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So this is actually balancing for my lack of being able to build properly. That's good. We can have the AI take control of that. That can do as well. Yeah. It can fly. That's more than I can say for most of my planes. Oh god. Right. New to this whole plane flying thing. At least it's flyable. Alright, let's power down. We can also have a huge jet engine, but let's not push our luck quite yet. I think we... Yeah, that doesn't look right. We'll have some more ailerons on here, I guess. Should hopefully help flying a little bit. A little test. Okay, yes, we can now actually turn. That's good. We are now a very unreliable plane. I'm gonna get her back into build mode. I'm trying not to get anyone seasick or anything. That would be terrible if you can't watch this because you don't feel good. We can put a large jet engine on there, but there's no need. This is gonna be a small ship, a small plane. Maybe have it be like a flying wing. That would be cool. I'm gonna actually try, just for curiosity, what if we replace this with metal? Can we still fly? I think we can. Yep, there we go. We managed to whip it back up in the air. That's good. We've got a constant 24 meters per second speed. We've got an itch to turn, which helps with avoiding, I guess. The engine is very fuel efficient, which is good. Then we can have a small yet long-range fighter. Good. Let's power her back down. I'm not gonna really bother with putting any cannons on here. Mostly just use missiles, because missiles are pretty easy to use. There we go. See if we can shorten it up a little bit. There we go, it's actually a bit more controllable now. At least, feels that way. Don't have a lot of lift, but then again, we don't really need it, since we are a tiny plane. Right, power back down. And we can basically remove that now, I think. Yeah, that only helps yawing, and we're not gonna really yaw much. Although it is always useful to have a tiny bit of yaw control on there for the AI. We can't actually attach down here, which is weird. But it's not to be helped, I guess. There we go, get some on there. So that is basically our yaw control. Let's see if she still performs well. Okay, we've still got adequate yaw control. We've got less twitchy flight in general. That's good. Now, I'm no expert at planes, but this seems to be going better than expected. Now we can also do things like this. Turn down the drive faction on those. Alright, there we go, I'm back. It suddenly decided to start playing music that was not in the playlist. And, you know, I'm kind of hoping to avoid copyright claims and all that. So I'm just using the music that is already in the game. Using it with the game. And that should keep me clear, really. Copyright claims are not fun. And YouTube is kind of a big mess right now, so I'd like to avoid that if at all possible. But yeah, in the future I might be able to add some more like Kevin MacLeod music and other things like that. Let me know down below in the comments how you feel about this. I quite like it, but I'm doing it for you guys. More so than for myself. So, opinions down in the comments and we'll see what comes of it. Now, let's see. Pretty much we can... No, English. We can pretty much start with, I don't know, trying to build like a shape around this that sort of looks cool. Because it flies reasonably well, like better than expected, so that's good. Which means we can use it in the campaign at some point. Just being terrible right now. There we go, we'll start using a metal force slope down. We can have something like this. And I'm just replacing these at the moment, there we go. Now we have a basic shape for a plane. It's gonna be looking like a flying wing, which was roughly what I was intending. Maybe like a spaceship-esque sort of thing, so I'm happy with how it looks. Now just gotta try and get it to look good on the top and bottom, of course. There we go. Middle corner down there, there, and then there. Then we can have a roughly flat top. Leave some components open, but yeah. I don't think this looks too terrible for one of my better looking plane attempts. You might be able to catch a glimpse at some point of something that I designed that did not look quite as good as this, in my opinion. And I have no doubt most of you will probably agree that this will look a hell of a lot better. Let's see. Right, gotta stop umming so much. Can't imagine that sounds great to listen to. There we go, get those in there. Aha! Now we have a basic wing thing flying. Let's see how it performs and if it still has any speed left. Certainly doesn't have any lift left in the wings, I can tell you that much. So there's two possible fixes for that. One is just flat out increasing the thrust that we produce. Or we can add some more wings, which is what I'm probably gonna end up doing. Be sure to turn on mirror mode first. Would be a pain not to have that on. And there we go. Shrink that back down and you can see that looks pretty good. Now, let's see how this flies, shall we? Still don't exactly have the thrust, okay. We are rather heavy now, I will admit. It might help to have some more engine power. That's better. Looks cool. But we still don't quite have the lift, which is okay. Just gotta keep the cost in check there, because I want to try and keep this cheap, if possible. I mean, it's still one of my designs, so I wouldn't count on it for very long, but it's something I want to try and do. So I can have these en masse, because they are cheap, and they seem to work well. Just for my own pettiness, I'd like to have these in the back, not in the middle of the craft. And we might be putting a third jet engine in here with a reduced drive faction. There we go. Let's see how she does. Probably a good idea to start the engines up. Still not getting out of the air. Off the ground. Even though there's not really any ground here. Alright, so we're still losing speed in the horizontal, but we can always pitch up a bit, get some altitude, get some fire down, get back up in the air. It flies remarkably well for something that I built, I will admit. And the addition of the little thruster there does help. I'm sure of it. We're still doing this on a basic 100 engine power, which is incredible. Although, I'm gonna have to look at... Well, for starters, we're probably gonna replace these metal beams in the middle back with wooden beams to keep the weight down, keep the cost down if possible. There we go. And I'd like to encase this back in metal, even though that would really up the weight of this beauty. There we go. That keeps it somewhat protected. Now there's just one problem here that I haven't taken into account yet. That is the fact that there is no AI on board as of now. I'm gonna look into that later probably. Maybe put it on the top somewhere. Because let's face it, AI is not as important on here right now. What am I saying? Of course it is. Right now I'm trying to figure out how to make this actually fly. That's always a good idea. And then we have to fit a weapon to it, of course. That is half the fun of this game. What to do? Where do we fit some extra wings or something? Maybe some extra thrust will do it. But then we run into the problem of not having enough power. Which is a slow and insidious killer. Fit some metal blocks to here. There you go, full throttle. Still able to use those engines on the front as well. We've definitely got a lot more speed. And oh my god, this is a stable flight. Jesus. Who am I? What have I done with the real me? This should not fly as well as it does. And yet it does. Look at that. And I managed to pitch it down into the sink. There we go. That's where the lack of tailplanes comes into play. But I must say, flies remarkably well. I'm impressed by myself here. And that's not often. At all. Right, let's get some more wings in here. There we go, we'll put some... I mean, we can probably use jet engines to do the... make this more of a thruster craft. There we go, we can use these to turn, I suppose. Just use like a 0.5 drive faction. You will activate with J, which is... I think what I want... No, that's not what I want you to do. I want you to roll on the left hand side with H. Roll reverse. This downwards facing jet will be activated by pressing... Let's just press the button, shall we? There we go, that works as intended. Hopefully. Oh, need to turn the engines on, of course. We are now flying, and we turn better, that's good. So just these 3 engines up top will actually help us fly the plane remarkably well, I will admit. And it's actually good enough to warrant having a pilot. That would be me, of course. No one is stupid enough to climb in a thing that I built and fly it for money. No, no. But look at that, it flies beautifully. Almost doesn't need any corrections at all. Wow, I'm impressed. And it's still remarkably fuel efficient as well, which is great. We will definitely be able to use that to our advantage at some point. And let's quickly go to ailerons. We'll put one in here, one in there. I mean, we don't really need them at this point, but you know, might be useful for the AI to have them just in case. And speaking of AI, let's do a quick save of this. We can call it the wing for now. And I'm gonna build an AI controlled variant of this. So, AI, mainframe. Now the issue is, where are we gonna... Okay, that writes itself apparently. AI card slot left and right. Aerial AI. Water start would probably be useful. We're just gonna have to deal with it. There we go. We've got enough. It's not like we need a block count on this thing. Now we can have target prioritization, which is always useful. Turn off that. I want to have a patrol card in here as well. And we can tell you to focus on altitude, slower vehicle, well, speed doesn't really matter, I guess. You're going to be flying, firing missiles anyway. There we go, patrol. A water start, and accompanying that we will have a hot air balloon deployer. And there she goes, taking off into the skies. Flying remarkably well, switching up between altitudes. Oh my god. And nosediving once it has to turn. Yeah. That's like the one downside it has. Oh, please tell me this is enough to get it out of the water. It's not. Aww. Look at it trying to struggle. Right, now it's got double balloon layer. That should help. Come on, deploy. I'll do it myself if I have to. Come on, I told you to deploy. Come on. Oh, did I accidentally cut it? I might have. There we go. Come on, get out of the water. Yep, there we go. She takes off like a charm. Now I'm gonna tell you to hover, just so we don't make anyone seasick or anything like that. Motion sickness is annoying to have, and I don't want to help people get ill. I'm gonna put a transmitter on here, because you're gonna need one. I'm not sure if you actually use the tracker or the radar system or anything. No, I think those are not useful at all in this build at the moment. We're gonna put a PYD in here. It's currently in aerial roll mode, I guess. Caps lock, unfreeze. We're also going to have to tell this to not roll too far and fly a bit higher. That is some fine-tunement of the aerial AI. Angle deviation before roll started. Let's throw that up to 60. Let's do that on 70. The most extreme roll we aim for is going to be 60. Cruising altitude, we're going to tell you to cruise around 100. Minimum altitude, 40. Distance beyond which we attack, we'll roll that up to 300. You know what, we'll do 500. Or 450. Yeah, let's go for 450. Distance below which we would... We'll tell you to go there. Alright, this should work. That is definitely way too far to roll, but at least you're not going down, which is good. There we go. She's flying. She's flying! Oh my god, this is amazing. It doesn't look terrible doing so either. Let's see, angle deviation before turn started. Let's actually reduce that to 40. And then turn this down a bit quicker. We'll throw you back to 60, why not? As long as you don't go below 40, you should be fine. Gotta say, working surprisingly well. The BYD is definitely not doing its job very well. Either that or I'm messing something up. To be fair, I don't have any clue what this is doing just yet. Yeah, I have no clue what this is doing. Correct pitch, that's good, I guess, but... Let's see, if we remove that, then it should fly a bit better. I don't know. I feel like I'm doing way too much right now. Like right now it's flying perfectly fine. Yeah, we'll get rid of you, I guess. Maybe add like a radar system on here, but that's not connected, I believe. Put it on here. Now we've got a radar on there. I'm not sure if that actually does anything in this build. I don't think so. It looks good, but we're not gonna keep it. We're just gonna do that. And now let's try and weaponize this, shall we? Let's quickly do that so we don't have it hovering all the way. Let's keep the weight down a little bit. Just kidding, of course. We're going for protection here if possible. Metal beam. Metal blocks. And back here we will put custom missiles. Missile controller. Flip it upside down. And then missile launch pad. We're gonna have one missile each. Just go for 4 missiles. Because they're not meant to be devastating, they're meant to be quick firing if possible. That said, we're gonna have some ammo issues because, first of all, I haven't put on any ammo yet, which is a minor design oversight I have yet to fix. But don't worry about that, we're just gonna be focusing on this for the moment. I'm gonna use APN guidance. And we'll use a fragmentation warhead, why not? Save as wing missile. There we go, now we're gonna... It didn't mirror. Of course it didn't. Thankfully we didn't need it to yet. Replace that. There we go. Load the wing missile. And load the wing missile. Now we've got missiles, we've just got to set them up. We'll use a 25 required accuracy angle on both of these. And now to put some actual AI on there, local weapons controller. We'll go right behind there, why not? And no, let's not on second thought. We'll put it in here. It's a bit safer than outside where it's rather exposed. There we go, he's now connected. I'm on the bottom of the sea, that's not going to help us out in any way whatsoever. Process resources. Ammo box, we'll turn that upside down just so we don't see the texture very much. And we'll put it in here so we can have some, I don't know, inconspicuous ammo, I guess. There's not going to be a lot of ammo, but that should be enough to keep it going. Now, let's spawn in a deepwater guard urchin maybe, just to see if this actually fires and does what it needs to do. Missiles have locked on, there we go. And its erratic pattern is sort of like a sea squirrel, which is one of the more annoying deepwater guard ships. And now, have they locked on? Yep, they have. They are turning. They are turning. They are very short range, though. There we go. We have managed to hit the urchin. That's good. And look at that flight pattern. It's so inaccurate. They are not gonna have an easy time getting a shot in here, I say, as it gets hit. Alright, let's get rid of that urchin. warp to it, call it back. What's your state looking like? Yeah, you are a tiny bit damaged. We will go to here. Put a compact repair tentacle on the nose, which now has it looking like this. It's a bit silly, but at the same time I think it looks somewhat cool. And we can always put on... Let's see, what shall we... Because I'd like it if they could repair just a tiny bit. So I'll put on a miscellaneous resource pod there. There we go. It can now repair vehicles around itself, and we're going to be using these in a swarm or a wing. So naturally, if they can repair them each other, that would be great. I've also decided we're going to up the missile range just a little bit. We're going to put some more warheads on there. You need more power! And then we're going to have them be on a 20-degree cone, 30-degree cone, 40-degree cone. So basically, these are very tightly packed together. And this one's slightly less so, this one's slightly less so. Basically, we have built a shotgun shell. And then I even made it even more dangerous. Now, there's the infrared seeker. Good. And we'll save the updated design. Go over here, load it. That's now going to take more ammo to load, but at the same time it should still perform admirably. Just look at that. We are using the engine at full capacity. We don't even need a second fuel tank on this. Again, this came out surprisingly good for something that I built. Let's see, can we put anything in here that might be useful? We can put a spares crate, why not? And now we can cram a... well, not cram, but place. Let's see. Where is it? It's on a miscellaneous, I believe. Yep, there we go, repair bot. You now have the power to both repair yourself and comrades around you. And it's only at 240 blocks. Jesus Christ. I have managed to build an efficient plane somewhat. That is amazing. Let's see, can we put anything in here? No connection, okay. Oh right, there was one thing more I meant to do. That is, put constraints on the weapon controller. You're gonna fire at close range. No less than 800 meters. You shall fire at something no lower than -8 meters high. That way you're not going to be targeting any submarines. There we go. The rest is fine, checks out. And we're gonna spawn in an urchin again. And he is going to be at... oh, there we go. We are turning, I believe. Yes, there we go. We are now turning to engage. Get some altitude. Throw off their aim and everything. Come on, you're allowed to fire. Come on. What's the hold up? He's not firing. Stop being a pacifist and just fire. Come on. Is there something wrong with the weapon? Was it me controlling the weapons? I hope not. No, I'm at the bottom of the sea. That shouldn't matter. Right. Ouch. Let's see. Will you finally open fire, or will you not? You'll have to fine-tune your AI a bit more as well. Let's get rid of that urchin. He's obviously not helping. We'll do this, and we'll have it a bit more on point. There we go. Below which we abort attack run. Yeah, everything looks good. And you guys are connected, right? Let's get you down to... Let's get you up to 30. Why not? So, 30. There we go. Let's try that again, shall we? Urchin. Might be because of the parameters we told it to fire at. Like, it might not target an urchin. I'm not exactly sure. It should. Come on, buddy. What's the hold up? Not exactly sure why it's not firing, but it should work. Pretty sure it should work. Like intended. Oh, that is the doorbell. I will be right back, folks. And we are back once again. I have found the issue. In my haste to tell it to have a maximum range of 800 meters, I told it to have a minimum range of 800 meters. That turned out to be the problem that was causing it to not fire at all. So there we go, I am being a genius once more. Let's get the urchin back in here and I'll show you how it has progressed. I'll tell you one thing, it's not shy of trying to... Oh my god. Might have to put some firing constraints on these. They seem a little free-fiery. Oh well. Aside from that, everything's going good. We are dodging all the fire. And we don't seem to be... Oh god, that was close. Yeah, the urchin is having so many difficulties trying to hit us. Because we are constantly changing our course and our pitch and everything. So each shot he fires is not accurate. Yeah, we're gonna put some constraints on these. Get it on the 50 and we'll put that there. That seems reasonable. We'll upgrade the markers just a bit. It's now firing anywhere directly from there and from there to roughly there. That's good. I'm gonna try and copy these to clipboard if I can. If I could just have these pasted on here. Yep, there we go. Do a quick check, and now we should have missiles that actually fire at the thing we wanted to fire at, which is excellent. That should stop us wasting ammunition. And we're still flying on the very first fuel load that we had when we started the episode. On second thought, I might have to tweak these down just a bit. Have it be a bit more reasonable. We'll put it to 60, why not? Give it the benefit of the doubt. Copy the clipboard. Paste from clipboard, there we go. Now we actually stand a chance of hitting the thing we're firing at. I said that before, didn't I? This time I mean it. I promise. Yeah, look at that, his shots are getting nowhere near us. We are turning around for another attack run, there we go. One missile goes off into nothing. No, it has picked up on the target. I think. No, it has not. Might switch it over to... Yeah, we're gonna go for target prediction guidance instead. There we go, now we'll see how it does, and then we're probably gonna end this episode with a very successful fighter. At only 239 blocks, it's 8600 metal. This should help us in the campaign. We can have a wing of these, like 4 or something. And we will just butcher the enemy. I love it. And these missiles are actually accurate. There we go. And with that, we shall end this episode. I will be putting this up on the Steam Workshop for anyone interested. I'm gonna call it the Wing, probably, unless I get a better name in the comments. Who knows? Until then, this is gonna be called the Wing. I will post a link on the Steam Workshop in the description below. I will post a link to the workshop in the description below. I will put up an annotation if I remember to do so correctly. If not, then shout at me in the comments and I will put it up. But anyway, if you've liked this episode, then please do leave a like down below. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. And until next time, have a good one, folks.